PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Are you sitting down? Because I am. So here's a big announcement that's just come out. Toyota's now entering the electrified vehicle game. There's a bunch of articles out talking about Toyota finally getting in. You know, we're the world leader in hybrids. We've got a hydrogen car, the Mirai out in California. We're really the industry leader as far as fuel efficiency and decreased emissions. And they're talking about Toyota's coming in this game late. Well, gang, I don't know how long you've been with Toyota, but that is not true. So in 1997, we launched the RAV-EV. That was a full electric RAV4. Now, depending on where you lived in the country, you might not have heard of this and you may have never driven one. I got a chance to drive one back in the day. So these were sold out in California. Basically, they were fleet vehicles to the government and to universities where these went. So we made almost 1,500, I think, in my research, 1,484 of these were made manufacturers and sent out. A lot of them were on leases, so Toyota could get them back and analyze exactly how the vehicle really worked. It was a nice little vehicle. It did what it was supposed to do. Again, it went from 97 to 2003. Toyota took a sabbatical because they were never going to build this on a national platform. So I think electric vehicles were going away for Toyota until this little small kind of out of nowhere company came back and joined up with Toyota. You may have missed this in your Toyota history lesson, but Toyota and Tesla. Toyota and Tesla got together in 2012 through 2014 with a partnership where they actually manufactured the RAV4 EV second generation at the Toyota Tech Center in Michigan, USA. So it went through the year model 2015 and some real quick picks on that. So if you converted the gasoline to electric range, it worked out to about 111 miles per gallon. The range of the vehicle was only 103 miles. Again, Tesla was very new and Toyota Tesla launched this vehicle. So the big pick on this vehicle, again, sold out in California. A lot of them were fleet sales. A lot of them were leased. Government and universities. That's where this RAV-EV really made its home. Only made about 2,500. I think 2,489 was the total. And, maybe some of these are still on the road. I know a couple of years ago they were still on the road and these vehicles are still being analyzed. But there was a rift between Toyota and Tesla. You can do your own research on that. There was some bad blood. And I think really, if you ask me, based upon my years in the car business, what happened is Tesla saw the future. And Tesla saw the future as not partnering with an auto manufacturer, but going out on their own. And so a rip of the partnership, Tesla starts making their own model cars and Toyota drops out of the electric vehicle market. Let me give you my 2 cents. And I know, everybody has their own 2 cents. Would I have an electric vehicle? There are times where we do urban driving. Back and forth to get groceries or to the pharmacy or to the farmer's market or whatever, just little jaunts here or there. And an electric vehicle makes sense. If you live in an urban center, electric vehicles make sense. What makes sense for me in the future? This is kind of sci-fi, and forgive me for dreaming outside the box. But the problem is how far can you get on a charge? The new BZ4X, I'm going to call it the Juice. I like the Juice. I mean, I know that name's had a bad connotation back in the back, but I like the Juice. But I like this new car, 310 mile range. Quick charge this thing in 30 minutes. So I'm looking at the future. In Texas, we have what's called Buc-ee's. It's 100 gas pumps, great food, all kinds of snacks, and they've kind of personalized. They have Buc-ee nuggets or little chips and stuff, but they branded all their stuff Buc-ee's, and it's gigantic. So when you drive in off the highway, off the interstate to one of these places, it's like it's a own little city. Well, there's going to be some entrepreneurs down the road. Every car company's making electrified vehicles, and the big problem is range. I can't drive across the United States because 310 miles doesn't get me across the United States. But if I've got a 30-minute quick charge to 80% of my power, and there's these giant electric supercenters, no gas, only electrified, and electrified vehicles come in there and I can eat. I can take my family, use the bathroom. We can stretch our legs for a while. And by the time we pull into 100 to 150 charging stations, 30 minutes later, I've got 80%. We're well on our way again. So that may be sci-fi. That may never happen. But entrepreneurial people in the United States, if they see there's a need, they will build these kind of things. That's why I don't really understand why we want to push the entrepreneurial people that are willing to take a risk with their family's money away from doing things like this and have everything be government controlled, because, that private sector will find that need. Remember, people were riding around on horses. They had little carriages and little wagons, and they brought the stuff. Our mail was delivered by horses. And then here came this stupid combustion engine. First of all, the steam engine. So we had steam cars. The boiler blows up, kills everybody. Not great. And here comes this little combustion engine. Everybody said, well, that won't work. You won't be able to get across the United States. You can go across the United States on a horse. And then somebody built a remote gas station, and then another, and then another. And these service centers around America were built. So, anything is possible. There's a solar panel on the new BZ, and it will charge up to 1,100 miles for the entire year. So people are thinking all you got to do is put a solar panel on a car and the car will go forever. We're not anywhere near that yet, but some different appliances in the vehicle can be run off the solar panel, so that might be something that works. Am I in the mode for an electric vehicle? I will always, through the rest of my years, have a combustion engine. I mean, sometimes you need to go. My combustion engines on my motorcycles. Sometimes you just need to go. And you need to be able to pull into a gas station, fill up, and continue to go. But it makes sense as we're becoming more and more of an urban presence again, as more and more people are moving back into the urban environment, as more of these rental fleets are out there. So you don't own a car, you own time in a car. I can see a lot of these urban cars becoming electrified vehicles. And in the urban cities where pollution is bigger than it is out in the middle of Wyoming, it will make a difference. Now, it's funny, if you pull into a station to charge your electric vehicle and you hear out back, you hear a humming noise where this big giant diesel generator is charging the cars. Well, there's a long way to go before the world becomes totally electrified, and there's a lot of technology to be enhanced. So this vehicle will be for sale in 2022. So it will be in your dealerships in 2022. Toyota plans to make 7 vehicles off of this BZ platform. So there'll be different things. It's a small SUV. There'll be different platforms. I truly believe that Toyota is going to make an electrified truck. I think that's the next step in the evolution of the Tundra. So we'll see. It's not one size fits all. It's funny. The riders out there, Toyota's finally in the electrified game. I don't know. It seems like to me Toyota and Tesla started the electric game. And that's a little snapshot of history as we move into the next generation of vehicles that people will purchase. I want some of you to go back with me because you don't remember. When we produced the first hybrid Prius and it came out, everybody said it will never work. Nobody will ever buy this thing. The hybrid system is not going to be reliable. And then taxi cabs started buying Prius, putting 1 million miles on them. The cost to replace the battery is now less expensive. So here's my last little sci-fi. Let's say electrified vehicles come into play. Let's say the biggest problem with an electrified vehicle is range. So I used to use power saws and I would plug them into the wall. Now all my power equipment has a snap-in lithium battery. So wouldn't it be interesting if years from now you pulled into Buc-ee's or a travel center that's on the highway and there was a giant rack of lithium batteries, and what you did for a charge is you would take your battery out and replace it with another battery, and it would be a snap-in situation. Don't ever take technology and innovation away from people that work with Toyota. They are the best in the world, and the future's coming. PK52, the Saturday morning meeting. Sitting down today because it's coming.